Now I'm going to preface everything in this video by saying while I have a little bit of insight into the Halo community and I definitely can voice my opinion and it seems to carry some weight, I have absolutely no knowledge of how Halo 6 will actually be like. Everything in this video is my educated guess and going off of the tone of things, different social media outlets, a bunch of different information that I've collected and gathered over the past year or so. 343 ain't told me shit on what the next Halo's gonna be like. Okay? Okay. Now let's get started. What's up everybody, how's it going? Legundo here, welcome back, and today we're talking about what will Halo 6 be like. Now I've already done a couple videos on specific little elements of Halo 6 and what I'd hope to see for them. Links to a couple of them are down in the description. I've already talked about things like what Warzone will be like, what the rec system will be like. But then again, that was about 6 months ago, and since we're edging towards E3 and are smack dab in the middle of trailer season when it comes to the games industry, there is a solid chance we're going to see something from Halo 6 at E3 this year, possibly just a teaser. Optimistically, maybe even a beta. That would be amazing, but I think that's way less likely. But Halo 6 is on the horizon. It's been officially confirmed and talked about by a few different 343 employees. They've said that they've moved on to Halo 6. They're working on it. They've already said specific things that are being requested for in Forge. Can't really be done in Halo 5, but are hoping to be done in the next iteration, which would imply Halo 6. All of these things, plus the fact that it gives Microsoft basically a license to print money, means Halo 6 is going to be coming to our consoles very soon. But what will the game feel, look, and play like? That's the question. And I've already wasted 2 minutes of your time, so let's get right into it. First off, this is going to suck for anybody who's hoping that Halo 6 is going to be Halo 3's movement mechanics and sandbox. That is pretty much the least likely thing that's going to happen. I'm going to give that a 0 out of 10 in likelihood of that happening. Halo 6 will continue in Halo 5's enhanced mobility sandbox. Now that does not mean that every Spartan ability in Halo 5 will be making its way to Halo 6, at least in their current iteration. I believe Spartan Charge desperately needs some sort of nerf to be able to bring it down to the level where it's not so much of an annoyance. Ground Pound also might see some tweaking, but Clamber, Aim Down Sights, and Sprint, they're staying. And I think Slide goes with Sprint as well, so those four are definitely staying when it comes to Halo 5. Now moving on to the story, I really think Halo 6 needs to wrap up in some satisfying way the Cortana trilogy of Halos 4, 5, and then 6. Now I know officially it's called the Reclaimer Saga and it's not specifically about Cortana, but if you look at the narrative storylines of 4 and 5, she was definitely either a main character or the primary antagonist of the game, so Halo 6 needs to do something about that, and it cannot be killing off all the Guardians in the first 20 minutes of the game. They cannot repeat the mistake they made with Halo 5 when it comes to just disregarding everything that they had set up from the previous iteration. Granted, this means that they basically need to start with a turd when it comes to the story. Halo 5's story was not well received critically or by the community. It was one of, if not the single most panned aspect of the title. And there have been some changes about that. There's new narrative leadership at 343. There's been concessions that it was not the best story to tell when it came to Halo 5, and that some of the promotional material and then the game itself didn't really line up. But they can't just Julian Donna Cortana and kill him after the first mission is over. They need to bring this to a conclusion so the Cortana trilogy can make sense and be viable. And because of that, Halo 6's story will most likely be a continuation of Halo 5's story. I give this about an 8 out of 10 as far as being the likelihood of this is going to happen. Speaking on continuing things, let's talk Warzone. Halo 5's Breakout game mode that was not Breakout, that brought microtransactions to the game with the rec system and put things on a grander scale with player versus environment mechanics. Now, Warzone, when it first started, was a lot of fun until people figured out how to cheese it. Farming became a thing, and I think it needs to be new again. And to be new again, I think it needs to be big. There's been a lot of requests for things like Falcons in the game, transport type vehicles, and those don't really make sense on the current small scale maps. But after the successes of games like Battlefield 1, which has huge evolving and changing levels, and the freaking behemoths that are in that game, I would love to see Warzone go all out. Maybe even more than 12v12. 16v16 is certainly a possibility and would be huge and fantastic when it comes to big, large-scale combat. Warzone leveled up would be a hell of a lot of fun. I would also like to see more emphasis on the AI interactions instead of just holding 3 bases. Some sort of levolution elements would be fantastic. Likely, those aren't really going to happen. I'd say the maps will probably be very static, but I hope we're going to get more than just 3 bases and the occasional optional bosses. I'd really like to see AI receive a bit of a buff as far as their way towards victory. Then let's mention the other Breakout game mode when it came to Halo 5, Breakout. The first iteration of Breakout was a lot of fun for me, and it seemed like it was their first attempt at making an esports variant of Halo 5. Halo 5 in general, though, was a little bit too competitive for mine and many others' tastes, but not competitive enough for the competitive community with inclusion of radar and automatics in competitive settings. So it's kind of stuck in this middle ground. It's not good enough for them, but it's too much for a lot of other people. So I think Breakout needs a bit of a rework, and I think the base that they should start off is Breakout 1.0. These start with magnums and SMGs. I know some people liked the shotgun starting variation, and I don't want to tell you that you're wrong, but it definitely feels less entertaining to me. I really think Breakout 1.0 was the better iteration, and that's where they should start for another evolution of it. I think Breakout coming to Halo 6 is likely. If nothing else, the elimination-based game type did make for some fun custom games, so I hope it does return, even without being a huge spotlight of the arena marketplace. I'd say 5 out of 10 for this coming in some way, 6 out of 10 for it being some sort of evolved version of the game mode. Next, let's talk Forge. It's very likely that Halo 6 is going to be using the same underlying engine as Halo 5, which doesn't give them the excuse that they had for cherry picking out Forge and a ton of game types from the 5th iteration of the Halo series. So I really hope that Forge and all of the custom game modes and game mode options that are currently available in Halo 5 are there in Halo 6 on day one. And I'd love to see more. Halo 5 Forge is probably the best in the series and the best level editing tool available on console. There's some straight up game editors on PC which do things a little bit better but have a little bit more of a steep learning curve. Halo 5's Forge is the perfect introduction point to allow you to do a lot with scripting without having to worry about corrupting the level altogether with deleting characters or light maps or the base of the world. Halo 5's Forge and an enhanced version of it being in Halo 6 is a 10 out of 10. This needs to happen day one if Halo 6 is going to be successful. Do not take everything and all the goodwill that you've earned with the creation of Forge and burn it day one of Halo 6. Now, things in Halo 6 Forge that a lot of people have been asking for. AI, we've already received some comments back and forth on Twitter. I know there's a modding tool from GameCheat that adds a very basic, very rudimentary AI. Go watch his video if you're about to type a comment about something along the lines of, if GameCheat can do it, why can't 343? So just watch that now, pause this, I'll wait. But AI in Halo 6 Forge, I'd give that about a 4 or 5 out of 10. It would be very cool, but I'm not 100% sure a company would agree to something on that scale. But some of the other things that we've seen and some of the game types that GameCheat has also leaked and have not yet come to Halo 5 hopefully will be coming out as part of this title, but I would like to see day one of Halo 6, including that War Arena Rex Slayer game mode, which is basically gun game / Counter-Strike. I would love to see that in Halo 5. but I hope failing that it comes in Halo 6. And then one of the last things is the user interface. It definitely needs some improvement and rework. I would think that we would get a little bit more of a Reach style interface. That was, in my opinion, the best UI out of any of the Halo titles. I would hope to see something like that. I'm going to give that about a 6 out of 10 as far as likeliness that there will get some sort of major UI rework and we'll have a little bit more to it. Then finally, probably the most controversial element of Halo 5, the rec system. I do think the rec system is going to return. It made them a shitload of money, and in combination with an enhanced version of Warzone, it's going to do it again. 9 out of 10 that the rec system is going to return in its current iteration or in some way enhanced. Hopefully, personally, I'd like to see different classes of rec packs available, all in gold, silver, or bronze. You can specifically buy vehicles or weapons or cosmetics. A little bit more of an opportunity to do a little bit more specific grinding for specific recs. I also definitely hope that we will be getting merit-based unlocks as part of Halo 6's rec system. Now that's already kind of a thing. In Halo 5, by completing commendations, you do receive emblems. So the system can definitely support it. But at the same time, people barely give a shit about their emblem. You get some people who are very specific and very passionate at having a very specific emblem, and you'll have YouTubers who are begging to have their logo introduced as an emblem. That's a bad idea, but I'm going to talk about that in an entirely different video. I'm just slipping this in here because I want to, cause a little bit more talking about the video if you happen to be watching this late into it. But emblems are small potatoes when it comes to the armor itself. Look at the reaction to the Timmy armor, to the Olive armor. You definitely need to be giving armors as a reward for unlocking certain accomplishments, beating the campaign, beating it on legendary, unlocking certain achievements, unlocking specific commendations. They should reward armor pieces, not emblems. So I really hope that that is a thing in the next iteration of the rec system. Like I said, with emblems being rewards in Halo 5, something everybody always seems to forget when they're talking about merit-based awards in Halo 5, the system already supports it. I know you can do it 343, so please give me them armors. I want something cool. Or at least I want people to know I did something cool when they're probably most likely murdering me in Halo 5. Anyway, that's pretty much it. A bunch of things that I think are going to be in Halo 6 or not be in Halo 6, and how likely they are on an arbitrary scale of 1 to 10. Let me know down in the comments what you think I got wrong, what you think I got right. You probably already have, considering the length of this video. Let me know what you think I forgot. Was there, oh yeah, playable elite 0 of 10, probably not going to happen. I would be very surprised if that ever came back to Halo multiplayer, especially with how competitive it is. Actually, this probably deserves its own video. And as always, you know what to do. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you hated it, subscribe for some more Halo news and analysis here on the channel, and I'll talk to you next time.